Conest Connect Setup. In the electrical construction industry where decisions are made very quickly, leveraging job data to make better and more informed decisions is essential. The Conest Connect add-on for IntelliBid gives us that capability. However, to get up and running with it, we'll need to perform the initial setup in IntelliBid. This video will show how to do that and explain what required information must be included in IntelliBid so that the information is accessible and usable in both Connect and IntelliBid. We must first set up our companies and contacts from the left sidebar. Let's start by clicking Companies/Contact. As we can see, several companies have already been created. If we highlight Burns Construction and look at the bottom of the screen, we can see that we provided an ID, a name, an address, and a company type. Burns Construction is considered a contractor. If we click City Electric, we will see that an ID and a name has been provided, as well as an address and company. If we click the Company Type button, we can see that they are considered a material vendor. We get prices from them. They're also considered a quote vendor. All right, now let's click OK to go back and create a new company. Next, we'll click the yellow New Company button from the toolbar, and then we type in the ID and name of the company. In this case, we'll make the ID Nelson Construction. The company ID and the name of the company can be the same thing. We can retype it, or we can copy and paste it in the name field. When finished, click OK. At the bottom portion, we can put in an address, but more importantly, we should add a company type. We'll say Nelson Construction is a contractor. We check Contractor, and then click OK. Every time we add a new company, we must have at least one contact listed. We can do that from the Contacts tab, so let's click over to that area. We want to consider who it is that we work with or deal with over at Nelson Construction. We then click Add, and then are prompted to add a contact. We will enter a first name and last name, and then click OK. Now we'll go back by clicking on the General tab. Next, we'll create a new job using our best practices. We start by clicking Jobs from the left sidebar. To create a new job, we click the New Job button from the Jobs toolbar. In this case, we're going to name the job Millbrook Elementary School and then click OK. Once we click OK, we'll look at the bottom portion of the screen. We must get in the habit of choosing an occupancy type for all new jobs we create. We'll click the drop-down and see our default options. This is a school, so we'll select the Schools option. If we click the occupancy type drop-down and don't see what we're looking for, then we can quickly add it to the list. For example, if we're going to be moving into the agricultural space or doing jobs of that nature, we click outside the list, then right-click on the blue drop-down. Then we left-click the Maintain Drop-Down Values option. A window appears. If we click the Add button, another window appears prompting us to enter an option value. We then type in our new value. When finished, click OK. Then click OK again. Now the new option is selectable from the drop-down list. However, in this case, this is still a school, so we'll just leave it as schools. Moving on to the next step, we enter our total square footage. Always enter that information if you know what it is. Next, we will choose an estimator by clicking the Estimator button. Who is it that's estimating the project? We'll say it's Rick, so we'll check off the box next to his name, and then click OK. Once the project manager is known, we want to choose a project manager by placing a check in front of their name as well, and then click OK. Let's set the bid due date next. When is this project due? We'll click the drop-down and select a date from the calendar that appears. Next, we'll look under the Job Info tab. It is here where we can enter any additional information about the job that we want, like tax rates. Let's click that button. What will the tax rate be? We may see that it is already set up with values, but in this case, there are none. We could enter a tax rate for the materials right now, and then when done, click OK. Let's now go under the Contacts tab. Who are the contacts on this job? Who is the architect? The engineer? Who is the office engineer? Those are just examples of types of contacts that we can add. Now let's take a quick look at journal messaging. This is where we will store all of our job documentation. Once a proposal has been sent out, we can then say whether they accepted, rejected, or if we are still waiting for a response. This is also where we would store any RFIs we might write. We can see the status on the RFIs, or if there are any documents that we want to include. Remember, the more information that we enter in IntelliBid, the more information that we're able to see in Conest Connect since they share data. If we look under the Competitors tab, we can enter information about other electrical contractors that we're bidding against. That way we can easily see who is currently winning or losing against us. Finally, if we go over to the Building Contractors tab, we can manage who we intend to submit the bid to. If we click the Add button, it lists all contacts that we set up as contractors. In this case, we'll select Bob Miller from Nelson Construction. This now provides us with the ability to change certain values, like the bidding status, which we would change at the end of the bidding process. The status options available are pending, lost, and won. We would change that status depending on if we won the job or if we lost the job. Again, all of this data will be available to use in Connect once the bidding process is complete, allowing us to perform deeper analysis of our estimating data to make more informed business decisions. In short, the more information we provide in IntelliBid, the more information we're able to see in Conest Connect. It is essential to add as much information as possible so that you can leverage that data when working in Connect. Once your data is set up in IntelliBid, you can start using it to improve your overall business decision-making and bidding processes. Thanks for watching this Conest tip video. Like this video and subscribe to our channel to get more tips and to keep up to date with Conest software systems.